Hi everyone, I'm Danielle, a fantasy woodcarver based in the UK. I've pulled together my 5 essential things every beginner needs to know to start woodcarving. So if you're a beginner and looking to dive into this hobby but aren't sure where to begin, stick around. These essentials will set you up for a safe and enjoyable start to carving. First up is the wood. I recommend starting with softer woods like basswood. Here in the UK, it can also be known as lime wood. This wood is easy to carve, making it less likely for you to struggle whilst you're learning the different cuts. You can use 1x1 blocks, which are great for a variety of ideas. You can also get bigger blocks for other projects as well. These can be found at craft stores and even online. I've bought wood from Hobbycraft, Amazon, and English Woods. Some are better than others, but I'll link you to the ones I've personally liked using below. Using a good quality softwood will help you enjoy the carving process so much more. Next on the list are your carving tools. I personally would recommend starting with a carving knife because of its versatility in allowing you to do a variety of cutting techniques. You can do so much with just one knife, and I'm going to talk about all the knives that I've used, but honestly, knives are such a personal preference. What works best for me may not work best for you and your projects. Some carvers use pocket knives and they work really well for them. I would say not to stress out too much about the first knife that you choose and to get a knife within your budget. Learn with it, and if and when you want a new knife to explore new techniques, for example, your prior experience can then inform you on what carving tools will be best for you and your projects moving forward. My personal favourite knife is this roughing knife by FlexCut. Their knives are good quality and it's got a nice grip. It also comes pre-sharpened. It's great for small 1x1 or 2x2 carvings and is good for getting a lot of that initial wood off to form the rough shape. It's okay with the smaller details as well. If you're looking to add more details into your carvings, then this detailed knife from FlexCut is a good option to move on to. These are two knives that came from an Amazon starter kit, and to be honest, I really wouldn't recommend going for a cheap kit like this. The knives just don't come sharp enough, and you'll end up just really struggling, and it might even put you off carving. I quickly progressed on to this Sloyd knife by Mora. Again, it wasn't a knife that I actually enjoyed. You can tell I haven't really taken good care of it, but it was a knife that I did use when I first started out. I have since used Mora knives again. I used the Mora 120 and it was to actually carve this pendant. I carved this pendant in a workshop and I actually really enjoyed using the Mora 120 knife. So it just goes to show that slight differences in the knives that you use will change your carving experience. Some other knives that you can get in the UK are from Beavercraft as well. So the more that you practice to find out what you do and don't like in a carving knife, the quicker that you'll move towards the perfect carving knife. Like I mentioned, the FlexCut knife actually comes pre-sharpened, which is great because a sharp knife is a safe knife. Keeping your carving knife sharp is important for clean, controlled cuts and safer carving. A dull blade can actually slip and make it harder to carve, which increases the risk of injury. I use this leather strop from FlexCut and this Strop and Coumpound to hone my knives. Honing your knife will keep your blade edge sharp throughout the carving project, and it's recommended to do this every 30 minutes when using a soft wood like basswood. Take your knife, and I usually do about 30 strokes on each side of the knife, changing every 5 to 10 strokes. Now that we have a sharp knife, we need to remember that we have a sharp knife. It's likely that you'll cut yourself. Even the experienced carvers do it. It's inevitable. So having some cut-resistant gloves or finger socks is important. They don't cost a lot and may even save you a trip from the hospital. I have a fabric glove and also some fabric finger socks. There are also gloves with rubber palms and also some carvers use thumb wraps as well. They're not 100% foolproof. Mine do have some holes in them, so it's still important to handle your knives and carve using the safe techniques to reduce any risk. At the end of the day, you want to be able to safely enjoy yourself and avoid a trip to the hospital. You want to keep all these digits where they are. Onto the fun, creative bit. What do you want to carve? There are so many possibilities, and you may already have an idea, and that's great. But if you don't, there's plenty of inspiration out there to get you started. A great place is YouTube. Search for beginner wood carvings and a whole load of things come up. There are some great step-by-step tutorials to follow. A couple include owls, birds, foxes, gnomes, and mushrooms. Another useful resource are books and magazines. I've got a handful here and they have about 15 to 20 ideas in each of them. They have really good step-by-step instructions, tell you what size of wood to use, and they also include templates. And then there's other places like Pinterest, being out in nature, or something you've seen in a shop or on TV that you'd like to replicate. I actually got inspired by Ryder from Paw Patrol whilst watching it with my niece once, so I decided to carve Ryder. It can be that random. Inspiration is everywhere. So there you have it. 5 essential things that you need to start carving as a beginner. The wood, the knife, the sharpening tool, protection, and now the idea. So you're well prepared for your first carving. I would love to know what you're planning for your first carving, and if you're still looking for some inspiration, go check out this video where I carve a beautiful fairy door, and hopefully that'll get your creative juices flowing. That's all from me. See you in the next one. Bye.